I'm Capt with Boat Test, and today I'm aboard the stunning V44 by Schaefer Yachts. Now, as you can see, this is a fantastic platform for entertaining and hanging out at the sandbar. Right now, we are at the Haulover Sandbar on this beautiful day. Come aboard, let me show you just how this is a fantastic boat for entertaining small groups or large groups of people, or even spending, let's say, I don't know, short weekends on for a group of 4 comfortably. Come aboard, let's see what she has to offer. We'll start the features walkthrough here at the Transom. Now you can see there's a large tow bar on the back of the boat, and this is complete with, of course, an eye to hook your tow line. So maybe you have the kids on board, hook them up, take them out, and spin them around a little bit. This boat is certainly nimble enough to do so, even though it is 44 feet. Now when it's time to come back aboard, right here hidden on the port swim platform is a telescopic 4-step swim ladder. Handles can be put in the upright position to assist coming back on board. You need a rinse? Well, there's a hot and cold freshwater rinse. And there's also a boarding gate that can be closed while underway to keep items and passengers safely aboard. And as I start to come forward, you'll notice the teak here along the side. Well, this is one of the deployable balconies. Let me show you how it drops down. The balconies are about 8 foot long and 3 foot wide, so they add quite a bit of space to the cockpit area. Within the balconies, there are 2 different storage lockers. Now this one, being long and narrow, would be a good spot for some coiled dock lines, but also these can be optioned to have stanchion receptacles for lifeline poles, and those would store neatly in here. Then the forward locker is a little bit larger. Right now there's some PFDs in here, but you can store whatever you need in there. I like seeing storage in these. A lot of times, this seems like wasted space when you see this feature on a boat. Since this back deck is so big and wide open, why not put a Sunpad on here large enough for 3 or 4 passengers? And that is just what Schaefer did. Now this thing, fore and aft, is about 6 foot 3 inches. And then port and starboard, it's about 7 foot 4 inches. That is a big Sunpad. Right now, we're in the position where if the riders want to face forward while you're underway, perfect for that. Then you can also move this way and kind of create a little backrest if your riders want to sit up while they're facing aft, or this can even be flipped down, and now it is a pillow if they want to lounge and face aft. And there's also 2 cup holders either side and a small cubby for those small items. As we move forward, not only can these be used, of course, for dining, but if you're underway, these seats backs can be switched backwards and now convert this to forward-facing seating. And that brings us to the gourmet station. So this is essentially an outdoor galley, which is complete with a Kenyan electric grill, which is a standard option. Then you have, right now, this is an ice box in here, but this can also be optioned up to a chiller plate. And then you have a sink. Also 2 cup holders. Now, you have a sturdy grab handle here, so maybe you're underway and you're kind of preparing things, making drinks or doing something on the grill. You can, always be sure-footed and know where you are. Under here, there's a fridge. There's a little bit of storage, some shelving in here. And then if you want to option up like this boat did, you can have an ice maker in here. And I will say, this ice maker was making ice rather quickly today. I was pretty surprised. And then over here around the side, there's a dedicated spot for a trash bin. And on the opposite side is storage, but this can also be optioned for a second trash bin if you so choose. Now this is one massive hardtop that provides plenty of sun protection. If you notice, it goes all the way out to the gunnels on either side. And this thing is rock solid. Everything is vacuum infused. I mean, I'm telling you, when we were underway, hitting some waves coming back, this thing never budged at all. Now you have LED lighting in the top. It can also be optioned with an electric awning to provide a little more sun protection. Maybe if you're, don't really want sun protection, but you do want to lounge on this large Sunpad. And we also have Fusion audio speakers overhead and a TV. This is a smart TV. You can, of course, see your Simrad screens. You can have all of your entertainment on board, sit back on the Sunpad, and enjoy yourself. And also, it links to the sound system in the entire boat. We have a sunroof overhead, and it is rather quick. Look at that. I mean, I don't know if I've seen many sunroofs at all that move that fast. it's not glass. So whenever it is closed, you're not getting the UV rays. It is stopping all of the heat. And then secondly, this is a cord fiberglass piece, so it is strong. So you can actually get up there and walk on top of it. Also, that makes it a good insulator, so you don't have the heat radiating down on you. When it's time to come on and off the boat at the dock, you have these boarding steps and a little bit of teak up on the top to keep you from slipping. Now, this is repeated also on the port side. Coming along the console moving forward, there is a 7-inch step, and then under the gunnels, there's pole storage. Now, you do have padded bolsters all the way forward, and you have about a 16-inch clearance here and 28-inch gunnels. The Sunpad up here is about 6 foot in length and 5'6" in width. And something I noticed are these straps that hold it down. These have a luxurious look to them, but also a heavy-duty look. So when you're underway, making those high speeds, this is gonna hold these cushions down and be sure they don't go anywhere. And you also have 2 cup holders either side, and then under the foot, you have a hatch, which is actually access to the cabin. Now, maybe you're at anchor one evening and you're not running the air conditioner, you can lift this hatch, and that's gonna create a tunnel effect of nice fresh air down into the cabin as you're sleeping. And I'm curious as to how comfortable it is. The ergonomics, and you know, it's not that bad. It's actually very, very nice. I don't need to lay down too long. It's been a long day, but it is extremely comfortable. Now, something else to mention are there are more Fusion audio speakers up here. So if you're bringing the party forward, you can bring the jams along with you. They actually have some beautiful upholstery in the bolsters. Now, Schaefer actually used kind of a shiny metallic looking thread there. I mean, that is just a beautiful, luxurious touch. The companionway access to the cabin is about 23 inches wide, which I would call adequate. As I enter the galley, there's 6 foot 8 inches of headroom in here. And one of the first things I noticed is there's quite a bit of natural light. I can see 6 large windows that are letting in a lot of light, even though we are kind of going through a rain shower right now. Just to the port side is the galley. Just behind the countertop is a fairly deep cubby that has dedicated storage space for plates that feature the Schaefer logo. That's gonna look good. On the countertop, you have a dedicated trash bin, stainless steel sink with a fairly deep basin, and an electric cooktop. Below, a refrigerator and a microwave that both come standard. And then you have a drawer which has a small little push button that locks it in place, which is great while you're underway. And in this drawer, there's dedicated space for silverware, which also features the Schaefer logo. And it's actually kind of a hidden drawer above. Great spot for spices as they have in the boat right now. Forward in the cabin, the ceiling height is 6 foot with LED lighting all around, even accent lighting around the edges of the ceiling. Now, there's U-shaped seating up here, which would probably be comfortable for 3, maybe 4 people. Now, along the sides, you can see the whole side windows that I was speaking of earlier, and they actually have blinds that you can lower down that are going to block out most of the light. Now, something else I noticed is there's several storage cubbies all around for smaller items, but there's also cabinets either side. And as you move up forward, this space can actually be converted into a berth by simply flipping the cushion down. Now you have a berth that is about 6'4" in length and 5'8" in width. There's also small reading lights up here, outlets, and switches for your lighting, as well as your controller for the air handler. The cabin has a total of 4 portholes that you can open to get that added ventilation in case you're not running the air conditioner like we are now. And also, around all of the windows, you can see this upholstery trim that just gives an idea of how much fit and finish Schaefer has put into these boats. And something else to mention is they have their own woodworking shop where they actually mill all the teak on the boat, and they work with a lot of the cabinets on the boat. There's also a smart TV that can be linked to your device so you can enjoy it while you're laying in bed. And just overhead of that is a cabinet with dedicated space for glassware that's also featuring the Schaefer logo. And if you want some privacy up here forward, simply open this small cabinet and you have a curtain that can be extended all the way across. I like to see that the head on this boat is not a wet head. There's a dedicated shower space. Now, once you open the door, it can be secured in place, and there's really quite a bit of room in here. You even have a bench seat with a little bit of storage underneath, and then a recessed cubby that has the shower controls. There's an AC vent here that's pumping out quite a bit of cold air, making it very comfortable in here. And another window that's letting in some natural light along with a port so you can let in some of that natural ventilation. The vanity has a vessel sink with storage underneath that can be accessed with more of their push button latches that I'm really becoming a fan of, and dedicated space for a trash can in the head on a boat. You don't see that very often. There's also a large cubby behind so you can store some of your products or personal items back there. Moving aft, there's a small step that brings us down into the mid cabin. Now down here, right now, there are 2 berths. They are 6 foot in length and 33 inches wide. Ceiling height in here is about 3 foot 10 inches with about 2 foot 8 inches above each berth. If you want to make this one large berth, there's actually boards that slide out underneath here and span this little space, and then you can load these in as filler cushions and make one large berth. Now there's also some storage down here we need to think about. Storage under both berths, and then forward we have 2 cabinets. Now the one on the starboard side contains our chiller, and on the port side there is shelving. Back behind me, these lift up, and there's ample storage underneath both of these. You also have switches and USBs back here as well. Oh look, there's 2 more ports that I didn't know about that you can open for extra ventilation, and they are located in these whole side windows. I hope you enjoyed that in-depth look at the features and amenities aboard Schaefer's V44. I'm Capt with Boat Test, and remember, life's better on a boat.